Hi, I'm Corpus, a senior transition specialist and real estate expert based in the San Francisco Bay Area. If your aging parent seems more anxious lately, or if you've noticed changes like sleepless nights, constant worry, or agitation, you're not alone. Anxiety is surprisingly common among older adults, but it's also deeply misunderstood. And today I want to break down what anxiety can look like in seniors, how to spot the signs, and most importantly, how you, as a family member, can step in and actually help. I'm also going to share a story about a client I worked with recently that might sound a lot like your situation. And by the way, before we dive in, if you like conversations like these, check out my podcast, Simplify Senior Transitions. You can find it here on my YouTube channel or on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other platforms. Let's dive in. Let me introduce you to Evelyn. She was 82, widowed, and still living in her longtime home in Alameda County. Her daughter Rachel reached out to me not because Evelyn was ready to move, but because she was refusing to even talk about it. Evelyn had become more isolated. She wasn't driving anymore. She would call Rachel late at night, sometimes in tears, worried about things like earthquakes, break-ins, or even, what if I fall and no one finds me? But here's the thing. Evelyn had no prior history of anxiety. What was happening? Anxiety doesn't always show up in the way we expect, especially in older adults. And there are many factors that can trigger it, such as loss of control. Seniors often feel their independence slipping away. Health concerns, new diagnoses or fears about dementia or falling. Life changes, losing a spouse, moving, or even downsizing. Medication side effects. Many prescriptions can intensify anxiety. Cognitive decline. Early dementia can cause a general sense of unease. The problem is, seniors often won't say, "I feel anxious." They might say, "I don't feel like myself," or "I have a bad feeling." Sometimes it comes out as anger or stubbornness. Here's what to look out for: frequent worrying or catastrophizing, changes in sleep or appetite, becoming more controlling about routines, increased isolation, irritability or mood swings, a fixation on the news or scary stories, avoiding things they used to enjoy. Evelyn, for example, stopped going outside altogether. Her daughter thought it was a mobility issue, but it turned out to be fear. Now, let's talk about what you can do, because feeling helpless doesn't help anyone. 1. Listen without fixing. When a parent shares their worries, don't rush to fix it. Just say, "That sounds scary. Tell me more about what's going through your head." That alone can lower anxiety. 2. Validate, don't minimize. Saying "you're fine" or "don't worry about that" usually backfires. Try "I can see why that would make you uneasy." Validation builds trust. 3. Introduce calm routines. Sometimes predictability can reduce anxiety. Set up a schedule for daily check-ins, medication reminders, or simple rituals like morning tea or an evening walk. These become mental anchors. 4. Check for triggers. Review medications with their doctor. Look at their living space. Is clutter adding stress? Is there too much time alone? Small changes can make a big difference. 5. Bring in professionals. You don't have to do this alone. Geriatric therapists and senior-focused counselors exist. You could also bring in a care manager or coach to create a plan or get buy-in from your parents. If the anxiety is preventing important decisions like downsizing or moving, it might be time to have a neutral third party help guide the conversation. So what happened with Evelyn? Rachel and I worked together to slowly introduce small changes. First, we set up a home safety assessment. Then we brought in a part-time caregiver for companionship. Eventually, I helped them gently explore senior living options in Alameda and Santa Clara counties, ones that felt more like communities, not institutions. Within a few months, Evelyn had moved into a beautiful senior apartment in a community with nature trails, social clubs, and a wellness center. And guess what? Her late night calls stopped. Rachel told me it feels like I got my mom back. Anxiety doesn't mean your parent is broken. It means they're human. These transitions are hard, but with the right approach, empathy, and support, families like yours can find peace on the other side. If this sounds like what you're going through, I can help. To learn more about my services, go to www.simplifyseniortransitions.com, book a free consultation with me on my Calendly link, and don't forget my podcast, Simplify Senior Transitions, dives into topics just like this every week. You'll find more guidance and real stories from senior living experts all over the Bay Area. It's available on this YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. If this episode helped you, like it, share it, and drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.